Have you ever looked into the eyes of your pet, a dog, a cat, or maybe even a bird, and felt something looking back? Something aware, something alive? That silent gaze can sometimes feel almost human, as if behind those eyes there's a spark of understanding, a being that feels, that remembers, and that perhaps even loves. But could it be true? Are animals truly conscious? Do they feel pain, love, and joy the way we do? For centuries, we believe that humans stood apart from the rest of the animal world, thinking, feeling, and conscious beings living in a world of instinct-driven creatures. But over the years, science and philosophy have begun to challenge that assumption. What if the difference between humans and animals is not a gap, but a bridge, a continuum of awareness that connects every living thing? Let's begin with the question at the heart of this mystery. What does it mean to be conscious? Consciousness is the experience of being aware, the ability to feel sensations, emotions, and thoughts. It's what allows you to know you're alive, to recognize pleasure and pain, to love and to hope. But if that's the case, could animals share the same inner experience? The more scientists study the animal brain, the more evidence they find that suggests the answer is yes. In 2012, a group of leading neuroscientists gathered at the University of Cambridge to issue what became known as the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. Their conclusion was simple but revolutionary. Many non-human animals possess the neurological structures necessary to generate consciousness. This includes all mammals, birds, and even creatures like octopuses. In other words, the spark of awareness isn't uniquely human. It may be part of the very fabric of life. Let's look at what the evidence tells us. When elephants encounter the bones of their dead, they pause. They touch the remains gently with their trunks, sometimes standing silently for long moments. Some even shed tears. Scientists observing this behavior believe elephants experience a kind of grief, an emotional recognition of loss. That's not simple instinct. That's empathy, perhaps even mourning. Or take dolphins. These extraordinary creatures not only recognize themselves in mirrors, something very few animals can do, but they also call each other by unique names. Through their whistles, they can refer to individual dolphins, even when separated by distance. That level of self-awareness and communication suggests a mind that not only perceives a world, but also forms relationships within it. Then there are crows, often underestimated, but among the most intelligent creatures on Earth. In experiments, crows have been seen using tools, solving puzzles, and even holding what appears to be grudges. They remember human faces, they warn others of danger, and they teach lessons across generations. What drives such complex behavior, if not conscious understanding? And what about the octopus, an alien intelligence right here on Earth? With 9 brains and neurons distributed throughout its body, the octopus can open jars, escape enclosures, and play. Some have even been seen carrying coconut shells to use later as shelter, evidence of foresight and planning. It's a consciousness very different from our own, yet eerily familiar in its curiosity and creativity. Now, let's consider something universal: pain. Pain isn't just a reaction, it's an experience. It's a signal that says something is wrong. For a long time, people argue that animals only reacted to pain automatically without really feeling it. But brain scans tell a different story. Many animals possess the same neural pathways and brain regions responsible for processing pain in humans. When an animal cries out, withdraws, or trembles, these are not just reflexes. They are signs of real suffering. Think of the way a dog whines when injured, or how a wounded bird limps but still tries to protect its young. These are not mechanical responses. They are emotional reactions, grounded in awareness and a desire to survive. But consciousness isn't only about pain. It's also about joy and love. When a mother chimpanzee cradles her newborn, or a lion gently grooms its cubs, it's hard not to see tenderness. Studies show that oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding and affection, is found in both humans and many animals. That means the warmth you feel when hugging your dog might not be one-sided. It could be shared. And love isn't limited to families. Dolphins play for fun. Dogs celebrate reunions with pure excitement. Elephants comfort the injured. And magpies bring shiny gifts to people who have shown them kindness. These acts suggest something deeper than survival, a sense of joy, affection, and connection that goes beyond instinct. Still, Some argue that consciousness requires more than emotion or behavior, that it needs self-awareness. So let's ask, do animals know they exist? The mirror test is one classic way to measure this. When shown a mirror, some animals recognize themselves rather than thinking it's another creature. Great apes, dolphins, elephants, and magpies have all passed this test, demonstrating a form of self-recognition, a sign that they're not just conscious, but self-conscious. However, even animals that fail the test might experience consciousness differently. A dog may not recognize its reflection, but it clearly knows the difference between friend and stranger, between love and fear. Consciousness, it seems, wears many faces. Philosophers call this the problem of other minds. We can never directly know what another being experiences, not even another human. So when we talk about animal consciousness, we face the same mystery we face when asking what it means to be us. Yet, empathy offers us a bridge. When you see a horse flinch in pain, or a whale protect its calf, your heart understands what your mind can't measure. You feel that there is something alive there, something that knows and suffers and loves. Perhaps consciousness is not an exclusive club, but a vast spectrum. From a hum of an insect to the laughter of an ape, maybe life itself is aware, in different ways, to different degrees, but always aware. And if that's true, then our relationship with animals changes forever. Because if animals can feel pain, love, and joy, then they deserve more than our curiosity. They deserve our compassion. Our moral duty becomes clearer, to treat animals not as objects or property, but as fellow travelers in the experience of being. So are animals conscious? Science increasingly says yes. Philosophy agrees it's possible, maybe even likely. And our hearts, when we look into the eyes of another creature, already know the answer. Perhaps the real question isn't whether animals are conscious, but whether we're conscious enough to recognize their awareness. Because in every purr, every song, every cry of the wild, consciousness might be whispering to us, reminding us that life, in all its forms, feels deeply. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into consciousness, nature, and the mysterious beauty of existence. And in the comments below, tell us, what do you think? Do animals truly feel love and joy the way we do?